Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. Wow. Um, just want to let you guys know we're going to be doing a Q&A session today, so it's open for you guys to ask me any questions. That you feel free to ask me anything that you want to ask me on today's show. We're gonna just have an open chat, and yeah, we'll do a Q&A session. It will be nice to hear from you guys and what you guys are thinking about. But we just saw, wow, we just saw something fantastic, phenomenal from Australia today. No, well, not from Australia, from one particular man in Australia. And we're gonna probably start off the show by talking about that first and foremost. Um, just a quick announcement as well. We are going to speak about tomorrow. We'll probably do a little show because the South Africa A squad is going to be announced for the upcoming tour against the West Indies. There's going to be a press release tomorrow morning that's coming out. And there'll also be a presser with Coach Shukri Conrad about that particular team as well to give you guys a quick update. But on today's show, it's a Q&A session. It's open, I'll answer all of your questions that you have that you want to ask me. But before we get going into today's show, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. Subscribe to the channel first and foremost. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. I'd also like you guys to please subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. We just saw a display of big match temperament. This particular issue is about a big match temperament. So please go look at what some of the coaches that we've interviewed have to say about it. Also become a patron to support us and show your support for what we do here at Cricket Fanatics. And if you want us to Cricket Fanatics Mag, and if you want us to continue doing what we're doing, your patronage is very important towards that. Smash the like button, comment, and share, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So, wow, without further ado, yeah, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to ask me today on today's show. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show, your fan Q&A session. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything and I answer your questions. We basically just talk about everything and have a little bit of a fun time together as a community. I like to do these things as a little break because, especially when the things are a little bit quiet and not a lot of things are happening, I like to get your guys' thoughts and see what you guys have to say, and what you guys are thinking. Of course, there is a couple of maybe some updates that we'd like to give you guys, just to give you some insight into what's happening in the cricketing world. I was at Newlands today, and we got to to witness something that was quite a spectacular 4-day match over the last 4 days. Um, it was a game where it was poised to go kind of either way. Although the Lions were in the driving seat from the start, I mean, there could be maybe a little bit of questions about, for example, the decision from Calvarino, the captain of Western Province, to decide to obviously bowl first in this particular match. And it actually kind of backfired on his team. I mean, obviously, the the Lions scored 402 runs in their first innings, and it really put them on a bit of a back foot from the get go ultimately, and they struggled to really recover from that. Other than obviously Carl Simmons, he's played a beautiful knock of 100 in the absence of George Linder, he's going to be out for a very long time, um, and it was 170 from Mitchell van Buren that put the Lions into a magnificent position. And then obviously it's 44 from Wandile Makweto and 42 from Bjorn Verteen, again showing his capabilities with the bat. Nandre Berger really bowled well in throughout this game. I was very impressed with his performance. Bjorn Hendricks also bowled pretty well, but I did end up with 402. And Western Province kind of didn't recover from that. They collapsed. Their whole top order collapsed, and it was Carl Simmons that scored 120 and Bjorn Hendricks 81 to kind of give them a decent 271. And then in the flip side, Zubair Hamza scored 51, and Ryan Nicholton scored 112, and Vian Mulder 57 in this particular match to get 249, put them back into a massive lead after they declared. And then South Africa, Western Province tried to fight back. David Bedingham batted decently, but he needed to stick around. Unfortunately, he didn't. I mean, if David Bedingham and Kyle Verreynne were still at the crease together, I think it was really could have been opened up for a type of match that could have gone in Western Province's favor if they had batters at the crease that stayed around. Valentine Katimi, he scored 42, and Johan James 38, the youngsters in the side. But that was the only fight back from Western Province. And in the end, the Lions won by 106 runs in that particular match. When it comes to the G-Bet Rocks versus the Titans, the Rocks won the toss in this one and elected to bat first. And Janneman scored a 51. And Sean Van Berg scored 67. And Hardesville Yoon scored 62. Other than that, the rest of the team just didn't bat well at all. And they got to 268. Abdul Halim took 4 wickets for 54. That's obviously Dayan Halim. And 3 for 56 from Ayak Ramani. Those were the wicket takers to bowl the Rocks out for 268. The Titans then came into bat, and it was Dewald Brevis' 50 that kept them in the match. They got 209. The G-Bets Rock went out to bat again, but they were bowled out for 197, with Clyde Fortuin scoring 65 and Yoon again with 48. But it was the bowling performance, obviously, from Halim again, 3 wickets. He took 2 from Clifford Isaacs, 2 from Claudio Bukaku. That really, it was a collective bowling performance with only Aaron Pangiso taking no wickets. The rest all took wickets in the team. And then the second innings of the Titans, it was Dean Alga's 119 and Rivaldo Munsami's 50. But mainly Dean Alga's 119 that took them over the line and won them the match. So the Titans won by 6 wickets in that particular match. Then in Northwest Dragons' game against Dafabet Warriors, the match was drawn. But Lesego Senakwani scored 100. Reinhard van Toorn scored 53. Senora Mutasami scored 50. And Michael Pretorius scored 109 to get them 426 in their first innings. The Warriors' reply was meek. Rudy second scored 67. Kashile scored 46, and they were bowled out for 240. And then they were allowed to follow on. And the Warriors, Jordan Herman scored 111 runs in this match. And then Rudy second with 38 not out to get them to 214 for 3 and draw the match. So 100, a match-saving 100 from Jordan Herman in this particular drawn match in Potchefstroom. Then we had the Dolphins who took on the Tuskers. And the Dolphins won quite clinically by an innings. So the Dolphins batted first, and Tsepang Tutole scored 146. Bryce Parsons scored 62, and Sean Gilson scored 50 to get them to 404. Then the Tuskers collapsed for 113 runs. Top wicket taker was John Smuts with 6 for 47, and we know in Durban it's always going to turn. They went into bat again, and Ben Compton got 61, Keith Tajan got 70, but it wasn't enough for the team as Ukule Tkele took 4 wickets. John Smith another 3 to bowl them out for 230 after they were followed on, and they lost. The Dolphins won by innings and 61 runs. So that's just a quick highlight of what happened in the 4-day competition from a South African point of view. But let me get into this game from Australia. I mean, Afghanistan did exceptionally well to get to 291 for 5. And when they did that, a lot of us were saying, or a lot of people thought, that this was a very difficult chase for Australia. They're really going to need to bat well as a unit to get over the line. Ibrahim Zadran got 129 to really get them to that 291, not out. And Australia were really taken, were put a lot of pressure was put on them. And then Afghanistan bowled fantastically. I mean, they really bowled great lines. They really put the pressure on them. They even ran out Manas Labashkachni. And they had Australia 91 for 7 after 18.3 overs. Just think about that, guys. 91 for 7 after 18.3 overs, chasing a target of 292. And Glenn Maxwell probably scored the best innings I've seen in one-day international cricket. 201 of 128 deliveries. And what made it even more special is when he was cramping up, he was even possibly going to retire hurt, and he still got his team over the line. Now that's elite mentality. BMT, talking about BMT, that is a true display of BMT. And it's crazy that this is the mindset Australians have. That Glenn Maxwell had the audacity to even do this and believe that he can take his team over the line. Not only believe it, but execute it. And not only did he execute it by getting his team over the line, he did it getting a 200 with off the last ball, smacking it for 6 to get over the line for 200, to get his 200. I mean, his double century. I mean, fantastic performance from him. There's nothing I can really say about it. 21 fours and 10 sixes. He scored basically all of Australia's runs. All the runs in that chase, basically. And South Africa might get them in the semi-finals. So we need to have the same elite mentality, believe in ourselves the same way. And we'll probably get Australia in the semi-finals. That might be the case. But wow, the audacity of Glenn Maxwell. He's been fantastic throughout this particular tournament. But yeah, this is a Q&A session. This is what we going to be doing on today's show. But let me get into some of your comments. Anush says, "Hey Khalid, catching up after a long time. Hope you're doing all right. I'm doing brilliantly, bro. I'm doing really, really well at the moment. India versus Australia final loading. What SA20 team do y'all support? Well, I'm from Cape Town, so MI Cape Town is a team that I support. Or the Royals, the PAL team. Non T20 isn't cricket, says Macmillan. Macmillan, what country are you from? South Africa. Me, Australia. I'm joking. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to skip all of this. There's no questions here. Khalid, is it possible for you to get an interview with Neil Mantop? I've already interviewed Neil Mantop on the channel. I've interviewed him about I did a lot of things in that interview, so you guys can go watch it on the channel if you want to see me talk to him. It was during the Knockdown series. Australia just made a massive statement in this World Cup. This team doesn't lack BMT and shy away from pressure. Ain't multiple world champs for nothing. Good luck to whoever plays them. Us, I know. Yeah, but this particular performance has to go down to one man and one man only. Glenn Maxwell single-handedly took apart the Afghanistan bowling attack. It was his BMT and his ability that got them over the line. We've got the same type of players that can do damage like that. We just need them to believe in themselves. I mean, Glenn Maxwell, that was all belief. That was him saying, I'm not giving up on this. I mean, fantastic mentality, I must say. Yep, but only if, of Maxi. He played a great though. Cummins showed a lot of fight too. Now I don't feel sorry for Afghanistan. I wanted the Aussies to meet India in the semis, but they'll meet us. Maxwell played a heck of an innings. Aussies are the only team that can beat India. Unbelievable innings from Glenn Maxwell today. Maxwell just showed that Australia can never be written off. Um, these guys just know how to win in World Cups. Definitely going to be a massive task for us to get past them in the semi. It's going to be a tough one. Yes, no, Afghanistan. Drop Max and he does that to you, getting the winning runs and 200 hectic stuff. Who will India face in the semi-finals? Well, it's going to be a fight out. Pakistan could make it. Um, New Zealand could still make it. I think I don't know what Afghanistan's chances are now, but those were the teams that were kind of in contention. Muller Klassen should have played like this against the Dutch or India, but they said just don't have that BMT, not even close to the Aussies. Now I'm sure South Africa is going to lose semi-final Australia if Bavuma is dropped. Well, even if Bavuma is dropped, I think we can't have that mentality. If you want to win games and we want to win a World Cup, we need to have a mentality like Australia, and we need to believe in our team, and they need to believe in themselves. Um, we have the talent to be able to do things like this. How does the semis work? 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. No, it's 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. That's how it works. Either New Zealand or Pakistan. Yeah. Can he say be sponsored by Twin Saver because we're gonna need a toilet paper sponsor for that's it's just really basic innings defies all logic. It does, and it was unbelievably fantastic, um, unbelievable, and I'm still speechless about it. Look how Aziz dropped Smith, but SA is giving plenty of chances to underperformances like Lungi and Bavuma. I know conditions were different Sunday, but this is how we should have went about things against India. Like Ricky Ponting said, this is what SA should have done: fight fire with fire, and we decided not to. Maxwell batted well. Does Bellingham make your SAA squad? He certainly does for me. We'll also be interested to see if Pitt makes it since Shook called him back into the system with the eye towards the New Zealand series. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see that. Um, we will know tomorrow morning what the team will be, and I do think that David Bellingham would should make it. Um, Smith hasn't dropped. He has vertigo, so couldn't play. SA is nowhere near us is when it comes to team selection or big match temperament. And it's funny because we beat them in this World Cup, so it's funny. Hashid says, if Quinton Cock gets out in the power play, then send Markram at number 3 to get the run rate going. Rassi and Bavuma take 10 to 20 balls to get going. That wastes the power play. Rassi can bat at 4 in middle overs. Your opinion? It's a good option to have. I don't mind them mixing things around if they need us to be able to speed up the game and put the pressure back on the opposition. I don't mind those type of strategies. Picking underperformers like Pavuma and Giri and crumbling under pressure may cost SA the World Cup, I'm afraid, says Sanjay. Is Maxwell innings the greatest innings ever? Possibly. Because it was done in a World Cup and Australia was losing that game, I think it is, in my opinion. Coming in number 6 to do what he did. We face this Aussies team, it's over fast. This shows character, which we don't have. Ding Angle is in some excellent form, says Lawrence. It'll be interesting to see how Proteas could come back after the loss against England. Is the red ball cricket you're talking about, Khalid? Yes, it's the 4-day red ball cricket 4-day series that happens in South Africa. Yeah, it's our domestic scene. Robin Timber just had to take the flack if they still pursue with him and we get dumped out. That's sports. You have to take the good with the bad. Australia are officially our semi-final opponents. Thoughts on what Maxwell's knock? I've just spoken about it. A wild selection from for me would be Gian Cluti with eye on New Zealand series. Not going to mince my words here, but I think I've seen enough from Kloshile to know that he's not at no consistency. Yeah, it's going to be interesting who the keeper's going to be. That's probably going to be the biggest talking point for the New Zealand tour, yes. But we mustn't forget, guys, we still have India coming here. That's something that's around the corner. So this SAA squad is probably going to have an eye on India and on New Zealand as well. You know, because India is coming here, so we're gonna have to prepare for that India series. We obviously want to win that as well. SA might defeat Australia in Eden Gardens. That could be the first entry to the final of any World Cup. Um, our players shiver during a chase. They don't have this mentality. They don't have awareness. Um, we need to get our psychologist that works with the box in our Proteus team. We need a brilliant psychologist, definitely. None of our players can step up in a chase, even if it's 250. We need a sterling coach, the mental ability they have. We need that. We do need that. I've always wanted. I've always wanted to have some sort of Australian coach within the setup. Doesn't necessarily have to be the head coach, but maybe an assistant coach, or maybe a batting coach or bowling coach or something to bring that mentality. The time experiment is over. It's late in the tournament now to chase if we win the toss. So rather bat first if we win the toss. No point in trying to chase now. We clearly can't. I still believe that they must approach the chase in the way they bat first. I think they need to go in with that same mentality. Lorenzo says the thing, Khalid, we have the mentality, but unfortunately we don't have that mentality. Yeah, we'll see. I know we have a bad reputation in World Cups, but have we ever respected an opposition like we did against India? I'm still not over the manner we lost. Yeah, I mean, um, do you think they'll give Riza a last go in the World Cup before the semis? Would like to see Riza the last time. I don't think they will, but yeah. Khalid, how do you watch 4-day cricket on TV? I don't. It's not on TV. So I went down to Newlands to watch the game between Western Province, and I watched it live. So between Western Province and Lions, but you can watch it on YouTube. They do stream it on YouTube. Khalid, what do you see as a weakness in the possible four teams for the semis in New Zealand or Pakistan as the fourth qualifier? You see, before today, I would have said us with Australia, if you their weakness is most likely wrist spin in on spinning tracks. But if they have one guy that can destroy the opposition like Glenn Maxwell did today, kind of throws it out of the window. I think it's all about the ground. So at Kolkata, whoever we're going to face, we're going to take out two spinners. And I don't think Shamsi will have as bad of a game against the other opposition as he did against India. But I think most teams in this particular World Cup, spin is probably has been their Achilles heel. Australia are good, but they definitely aren't unbeatable. Afghanistan today showed that they can be got at. Will it be tough? Yes. But can we beat them? 100% we can. And the chances are that Glenn Maxwell, okay, I'm not going to even do that. I'm not going to even say that. Australia were average today, other than Maxwell. Bavuma has won one toss out of six. People are thinking about the toss is nothing. But you know what this does with regards to Australia is okay, they still have one more game before the semi final. But this gives their Glenn Maxwell kind of a pass in a way because after he's done this. So, like, what can actually happen is the rest of the team can come together and perform and bat. Um, they're going to come into that game against South Africa in the semis with a whole different mentality. And we're going to have to be up for it. Riza won't get another go. Let's move on. Temba won't get dropped before we're in a semi-final. It's too late now. I share this. I share the same sentiments with you, bro. Um, Khalid, what happens if they have 4 years experience before 2027 World Cup? Deva Brevis, Jordan Newman, Bryce Parsons, Markram, Stubbs, Ferreira, Janssen, Ethan Bosch, Bose, Aleke. Yeah, like I mean, I would like us to rebuild the team in a way, um, that this team can grow together and play as a unit, and then learn and lose and win as a unit, and build an ethos within the side. That's what I would like them to do. Lawrence, we said this some time about India, and look what happened. Let's be honest with ourselves. The only way we'll win this World Cup will be if we win the toss and bat first. Sad truth. Shamsi has to correct his length when there is too much spin on the pitch. Our batting coach JP Dumini didn't play well under pressure, if I remember. Well, he did in the first Test match on his debut. Wow, against Australia. Hey Khalid, like the topic, ask me anything. Give us a plan to beat India in the Cricket World Cup. Uh, Bro, if I could give you a plan, I'll be the coach of the national team. Um, but my 2 cents would probably be to to build tight line, to not make mistakes. It's the best way to keep the pressure on them, keep your tight lines, and not give them too many extras, and give them a window in the match. Don't give them a opportunity to breathe. You need to continuously pile on the pressure against them. With regards to chasing, because I think we'll be fine if we bat first. But if we're chasing, I think we need to chase with bat with the same mentality if we're batting second as we would if we're batting first. Because we tend to set up a platform, and then our middle order can be very destructive and get us to 400 totals. We aren't going to chase 400 in a match, most likely. So if you bat with that particular mentality, set a platform, we should be able to reach any target. That's what the idea should be. In theory, that's how it should happen. Um, but that ain't the case. We tend to be a little bit more pragmatic when we bat second, and I don't understand why. We have the natural players to be able to be attacking, so I don't understand why. Um, any news on Lungingiri? I haven't heard any news on Lungingiri yet. No. The team is currently on a break. Um, no media opportunities, etc. So we're gonna have to wait for the press conference um, to actually hear. I think we get one on Wednesday, tomorrow. Yeah, we get one tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. In my opinion, bowlers win soft against Kohli, no bounces whatsoever, only full deliveries. Win or lose, we should chase against Afghanistan, and the Indians are fearing for New Zealand to not come in semi-finals. I want New Zealand versus India. Will happen New Zealand versus South Africa in final SA win. I don't think any team can come up with a plan that will categorically get you a win. Belief is important when it comes to the big games. If you believe the game plan will follow, it's it's the belief, and it's also the intensity that you show. Leave everything on the field. We saw that with the Booker. They had an unbelievable belief in their ability, um, and all great teams. That's what they do. The belief is there. So you have to first and foremost believe that you can achieve it, and without that belief, You can't win massive games. Oz have the best mindset in cricket, followed by the Kiwis. Even England knew they needed an Aussie mind to win a World Cup. Timber is arguably our best batter when it comes to chasing. So hopefully you'll get back to form on Friday. I bloody well hope so, Lorenzo. It's too late now. If it's too early games ago, when was the right time to take the decision for Timber? Are they asking you that, Lawrence? Our team seems to be all one-minded when fails, chasing all fail. This doesn't seem to be this individual or individuals who can rise up above that, and that is what I'm speaking about, and that's what I'm. I mean, we that middle order, for example, Klaassen and for example Miller, are supposed to be our players that will be able to do what Maxwell did today. They have the talent, they have the ability to be able to do something like that. If Avuma don't score against Afghanistan, I would love to see Riza and Semi. This guy can't miss unlucky every time in knockout game. It will be a shame. For imagination, who you face, who semi, and who in final, your prediction. For imagination, South Africa versus Australia, India versus New Zealand. I think it will be a India South Africa final, because I believe in my team. um, I'm going to obviously be optimistic about it and believe in my team and back them. Let's not hype New Zealand when it comes to World Cups. They serial chokers, 2 World Cup finals. Yeah, and the funny thing about New Zealand is they always seem to make it though. They always seem to make out the knockout stages. No matter how they look on paper as a team, they always seem to make those knockout stages. Um, what would be insane is, yeah, a New Zealand Australia final would be crazy. If it ends up being, if that ends up being the case, I mean, what makes this even better, this Australia performance, is they recovered so bloody well in this World Cup. They continuously improved and they continuously got better, and and now they are sitting in the position that they are sitting. Unreal innings from Maximan, spectacular. And I don't like the Aussies, but yo, wow. Agreed, honest. New Zealand are just like us in World Cups, unfortunately. I actually won't fear New Zealand if they manage to beat India and we get over the line against Australia. I wouldn't mind New Zealand. I wouldn't mind New Zealand and South Africa in the final either. It would be great to beat them twice in a major sports event, wouldn't it? Uh, don't take New Zealand lightly. Might spoil the favorite. If New Zealand do manage to play the semi, then Australia versus SA semi-final will be in Kolkata. And if Pakistan qualifies, then SA versus Australia will be on Wankhede, Mumbai. Obviously, in my opinion, India will take it if they gave New Zealand. Sadiq, I'm going to answer you bluntly. With Timba, excellent form coming into the World Cup, they were never going to drop him. Yeah, that's true. And it's difficult because we might have an opinion and a thought process of we might have an opinion or thought process about certain things. But then sometimes it's like we can give our opinion, but then how many times are we going to talk about our same opinion if we know kind of what is going to happen from the coach's point of view? We might as well just, after we've spoken about it, after we've criticized it, after we've let our feelings out, at some point we need to just accept that that is the case. I'm excited for how New Zealand perform against India. Australia were in the same position as we were against the Dutch. Look at how they pulled it off. Crazy. With Maxwell, though. Miller could have played an innings like Maxi. He should be able to. Pakistan won't play in Wankhede. What bowling lineup would you go with? Openers if Lungi is injured. I would go with KG and I would go with Marco Jansen as the openers. Klaassen, Dex, not Miller. Miller was set. Agree, but then what happens to Timber if he doesn't regain his form in the World Cup? We continue with him after the World Cup. I think there might be a reset after this World Cup. I just have that feeling. TT, Khalid, if you had a choice, who would you prefer to play in the semis? Well, I prefer New Zealand than Australia. Um, because of Australia's track record, I would prefer the Kiwis. I actually think the Kiwis will beat India in the semis. Probably there will be a chaos in the stadium. Pakistan don't play at Wankhede because of political reasons. So if semi-final India, Pakistan at Kolkata, SA, Australia, Mumbai. Really? That would favor South Africa more, actually. I think South Africa can beat Australia in Kolkata. I think our spinners are good enough to be able to give them problems. Correct. If Pakistan qualifies semi, will be in Mumbai, a ground we do well at. Yep. Burger. Do you eat burgers? Yes, I do eat burgers. To be honest, only Australia or Pakistan can stop India in semis. New Zealand without Henry isn't capable. Anything can happen. India can have an off day. I mean, they haven't had all tournament. The off day could come. Um, it isn't completely out of the question. Um, I mean, India is not an unbeatable team. Although, guys, I must talk about Mohammad Shami. Jesus, that guy. Mohammad Shami is one of my favorite bowlers, honestly. That guy's ability to move the ball, put the ball on the spot consistently, test the bat. I mean, he's just a phenomenal bowler, that guy. Pakistan does not deserve to be in the semis. They always depend on other teams. Australia wins against India World Cup. Yes, Khalid. Savensa Politic Party warned last time if Pak play at Mumbai will release snake on the ground. Gee was. Khalid, can Sir Alex come coach the Proteas? It's too old now. Political reasons for that. Different states in Pakistan aren't very welcome when it comes to Pakistan. Khalid, India did have a couple of days off against England and Australia. A couple of off days. Yeah, but I mean off days so that they can to the point that they lose. I think we have the skill to beat the Aussies in the semis, but we don't have the mindset to do so. Aussies and Kiwis have the mind to beat anyone. I think that this team does. We mustn't. I don't think we should put this team into the same bracket that was the previous South African teams. I think we have a couple of players that can really do it for South Africa, and I think when it comes to the knockout game, I think we'll be a lot more prepared with the players that we currently have, who have gotten over the line in certain finals domestically, and for SA20, and also in IPL finals as well. New Zealand has the capability to make an upset on any day. Shams is the only pace bowler not bowling scramble seam. The thing with Shami is that his seam hits the pitch straight. The guy's just phenomenal, though. His accuracy is just unbelievable. Consistent accuracy. According to ESPN, it is confirmed we will play Australia in the semis, as neither team can reach 12 points or obviously dislodge India. SA come back against Afghanistan will be important to see after that lost by India. Marco said he felt nervous, and we saw his performance in the semi-final. Nervous will catch all of our players. I think that they got their nervousness. I'm happy that that match happened then, because now I don't think they will be as nervous, because they've gotten the worst. They got the worst beating that they could have possibly gotten from India. And I think that puts the nerves away. I think this team needs to say, there's nothing to lose here. We're just going to give it our best shot and then throw everything at the opposition. If they lose the semi-final with that mentality, I won't be here upset after that semi-final. If we lose like we lost against India and the Netherlands, etc., then I'll be upset. But if we throw everything at this game and leave our hearts on the field, blood, sweat, and tears, I'll be sitting here proud of this team. We have big match players, just we need to do it as a collective. I'm sorry, but I'm not on this Kiwi mentality hype train. I've seen enough of them in ICC events to know. Um, what you think of Jay Duplessis? 200, brilliant 200, and he scored a ton as well, I think, in the same match. Semi-final nerves is not comparable to group stage match nerves. Match knockout pressure is different. Of course, it's different. Of course, it's different. Um, of course, it's different. I'm just hoping that the South African team will be able to put that to bed. I really, really hope that they will. Dean Alga 100, yes, I spoke about the 4-day games early on in the show, Dex. I spoke about all the different performances, all the scores, everything that took place in the match today. So that was early on in the show. I read out scores and explained what happened in the match. Something. Oh no. Why is this? Why is this still here? Don't know why this is still here. This from this video. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up my back end of the back end of YouTube. Not my back end, the back end of YouTube. These conditions don't really suit Kiwis. These don't have enforcing bowlers. Lawrence, Saka or Rashford? Saka. Rashford's irritating me at the moment, to be honest with you. My sister's been telling me for years about Rashford and how he's overrated. She's also a United fan, and I just didn't want to believe it because because I wanted to support the diehard Manchester born boy. But jeepers, the guy doesn't have a first touch. When he's horrible, he is horrible. And even when he does well, she pointed out to me that even when he does well, he still does other things badly. And then he does the goals and maybe the assist covers it up. I mean, Saka is a brilliant player. I think his ability on the ball, his touch, his skill, his shooting. I think he's a better player than Rashford, to be honest. We need to reset like we did after the Dutch loss and kick off like we did after that. Holly, I don't follow domestic setup lately. Are there any youngsters that are ready for international cricket like Kwani, KG, AB, etc.? Depends what format you're talking about. I think Mapongwana is ready. In my opinion, I think that guy is quality, but I mean, I don't know if he's ready for a straight up to the Proteas. I think SAA first and then moving up. Remember, these guys also played SAA cricket, so there's a couple of SAA tours happening, and I think they need to play in there first, and then we can see. A youngster like at the age of 19, 20 years old, I don't think so yet. I think Brevis is probably the closest youngster, I think, to international um, into the international space. Should Newcastle go have stood against Arsenal? Clear foul on Gabriel for me. I didn't actually see it, bro. To be honest with you, I didn't watch the game. Take 7-1, Spurs 7-1. Bellingham was on fire when he threw it away. Yeah, know that it isn't sportsmanlike, but I hope Maxwell is ruled out of the World Cup. Don't write off Trent Bolt in Wankede with the swinging conditions. Trent Bolt, also another player that's fantastic. But it's not wise to wish injury on anyone, but an Australian is the exception. I don't think he's wishing injury on him because he's currently injured. or he's currently cramping up, or he was in pain. What if New Zealand bowls first? Shami at night. Hardy, your take on Matthews' dismissal. Do you think the issue will change the attitude in the future when they play each other again? I definitely think it could, but I think it was very shocking from Shakib Al Hassan. I think it was unsportsmanlike from him because the umpires asked him if he wants to keep it, um, uh, if he wants to maintain the decision, because it was up to him as the captain to decide whether he wants to allow Matthews to continue playing or not. So I think it was kind of a low blow, and unsportsmanlike from Shakib. United's ownership is a cancer in the 150%. Once we get SJR and get a new CEO and like Paul Mitchell as director of football, things will change. Glazers are Satan. 100%. 100% Macmillan. Spot on. Shakib is a mouth for what he did yesterday, by the way. Yes, 100%. I don't, I'm saying 100% a lot. I don't like to do that. But yeah, it's pathetic. I don't want to see Marais Erasmus in yet another Cricket World Cup final, because that would mean we lose in the semi-final. Please come home, Murray. Guys, no. No, let's not have any what's it called? Conspiracies. Let's put our energy behind the team 100% now going into the semi-final. No matter what happens against Afghanistan, let's put a 100% belief in this team that they can pull it off, because we have some players that can pull off one game and be fantastic. I really honestly believe that. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in and making the show really fun for me. I really enjoyed this episode, all the questions. I like it when you guys ask me a couple of things and we get to chat in the live chat and see what you guys are saying to each other. I really enjoy this type of shows. So thanks a lot for making this a lot of fun. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. I'd like you guys to also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. You can also show your support for the show and everything that we are doing here by becoming a patron today. We rely on your patronage to continue doing what we're doing here at Cricket Fanatics. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Smash your like button, comment, and share, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So, without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out.